Throughout my childhood, I have indulged in almost every nerdy franchise known to man. Star Wars, Pirates of the Caribbean, Harry Potter, Marvel and DC, but there was always one I couldn't get into, Jurassic Park. Now, I'm not sure if they spooked me too much or if they genuinely were boring for me, but the Lego game kind of landed the same way for me, mid and forgettable. Recently, I made my video on Lego Marvel Avengers and I had a few people tell me to try Jurassic World and that they really enjoyed it. So let's see if with an adult perspective, I'm able to admit that the game and movies are actually really good, or if my opinion remains the same.
Lego 100% yes.
Lego Jurassic World is a game created after the release of the sequel film to the Jurassic Park movies. If you've seen my Marvel Avengers video, you would know that this happens to fall within the golden age of Lego games. This was when Lego games were doing a really good job at testing barriers while also sticking to a formula that was sure to make an interesting and fun game. This game's great test of boundaries would be the dinosaurs. At the time, we had not yet seen playable characters of their size, and they cooked up real hard on these bad boys. And as far as the story, well, let's just get right into it. Level 1, aka the prologue, starts us off at a Velociraptor pen, and we are in need of taking care of these precious creatures so that they are welcomed into captivity, which is definitely not a cool way of treating living beings. Just ask Diddy. After Robert Muldoon and his homie take care of business, it takes us to Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler, who are in the process of digging up bones. This level introduces the fact that only some characters can build bone structures, jump high, and cut ropes or vines. These are crucial abilities to this game, and we will be seeing them in 90% of the levels. After a long day of work, we are surprised by an airlift by Dr. Hammond, who wants us to join his get-rich-quick pyramid scheme, and that's the end of the level. On the way to investigate our brand new shiny pyramid investment, we meet Dr. Ian Malcolm, and if you know anything about the movies, he will become more important later. We are then brought to a crossroad where we have the decision to continue the story of Jurassic Park or head over to Jurassic World. If you saw my last video, you would know that I thought you were required to start with Jurassic World, but that is because the person I first played the game with chose that path, so you literally can't be mad at me. I, of course, picked to continue Jurassic Park like a complete Chad. We get to the park and we get to see the iconic scene where they see their first dinosaur, and it's a Diplodocus! We make our way through into the visitor center. The lore of how they got dinosaurs is explained, and it takes us to Velociraptor Man from earlier. It's time to feed those bloodthirsty lizards, so we do just that. Apparently this was a part of the tour, so the group watches this go down. Just then we find out Dr. Hammond invited his grandkids, likely so that they would also invest. While the tour is continuing, Ellie decides this is her time to go full vet mode, and she saves a Triceratops by diving straight into fecal matter. This is a real feature that is within this game. Now, at the time of filming, I am unsure of the canonical value this holds within the movie, but Dookie diving should be incorporated. After saving Lil Bro, we use him to move forward in the level. We then see Big Boy deviously smirking on the phone. Surely he's not doing anything bad. He was doing bad things. I guess he was planning on selling information about the dinosaur project, so he hacked the park and maybe was preying on the demise of everyone there. That's my best guess without watching the movies. Anyways, he turned off the electricity, essentially leaving everyone cooked. Unfortunate timing for our tour group leads to all of them being terrorized by a T-Rex. Alan Grant and Ian make it out of the car, but the kids are still stuck in there. We save them, Ian gets left behind, and Lil Homie gets stuck in a tree, so we are forced to get him down. We all then fall out of said tree. Ellie finds and saves Ian while looking for Alan. This leads to them all being chased by the T-Rex. And chase level! The next level begins with another chase level! As we go on, you might notice a reoccurring theme. After, Robert and Ellie go on a mission to restart the breaker. This part is kind of dark and spooky. We turn some of the lights back on, but we have unwelcomed talent guests, so it's time to go. The next part of the level involves us getting jump scared by velociraptors on repeat. No fun. So, we make an attempt to re-extinct these losers. I would have to say our attempt was not in vain. Alan, the world's worst babysitter, takes the kids back to the visitor center where they meet the velociraptors. Do not worry though, Alan is nowhere to be found. The kids maneuver around the kitchen counters like children at a Drake sleepover and make it to the control room. The kids, Alan and Ellie, hold the velociraptors back and get to the main room of the visitor center. They work to make it to the ground so they can escape, but then our friend from earlier arrives. He does actually help though, and 1v1s the pesky fast dino. This concludes the dino's reign of terror and the level. This brings everyone to leaving the island and everyone learns from their mistakes of messing with biology. The end. Just kidding, we're back with the second Jurassic Park movie, Lost World. We also were sitting at a calm 6.9%, which I felt was important to be pointed out. Nice. So this movie starts with Dr. Hammond losing control of InGen, which is the company that runs these islands, and Ian Malcolm gets into a bit of a tussie over it. He decides to help Dr. Hammond by getting photo files of the island for him. Unfortunately, his own daughter sneaks along for this mission. Bruh. We get to the island and make way to the research facilities. We get pictures of the Stegosaurus and meet Sarah Harding. Then crap goes down and we must defeat the friends we just took pictures of. After defeating them, we see a fire, but we realize it was just Ian's silly daughter trying to cook for everyone. Bruh. At this rate, she might be more dangerous than any of the dinosaurs here could be. Just then we see another team from Engine swooping in to take our jobs. Or we were just the bait. I guess we'll find out soon. We go to check it out, but that doesn't make the Engine workers very happy, so they attempt to hurt our feelings with their fists. We make decently quick work of their camp, but then a T-Rex stops by to get his child back from CPS, and we just happen to get caught in the crossfire. This leaves a majority of our group hanging off the side of a cliff via rope and Mr. Receding Hairline to save them. They all survive with a light amount of plot armor and begin to work with the other team of workers to come up with the solution of getting the fricks out of Dodge. After grouping together, they have a super mega sleepover camp out, but once again the T-Rex really crashes like an uninvited younger brother. This leads to another chase level. Eventually we are chased into the tall grass, which turns out to be like an all-you-can-eat buffet for the Velociraptors. Yikes! After flashing the Velociraptors Kanye West wife style, we make a break for it. We then get into a tall building which we are required to climb while also having the scaly relatives of chickens chase us. We make it to the top and then cross over the whole hangar area to reach the helicopter so we can get out of there. Ian and Sarah go to San Diego where Mr. Engine is having a press conference. The goal is to ruin it and tell the world of the dangers of the company. Just then, a giant boat crashes into the dock. Ian and Sarah make an attempt to save everyone on board. When they get to someone seemingly being crushed, he reaches for a button and releases a T-Rex in San Diego. They go to a facility to get the dino's baby to lure it back into captivity. This leads to a chase. Once it has been lured back to the facility, that is the end of the second film. Now, it is time to begin the third movie, Jurassic Park 3. Since the events of the first movie, apparently money has not been flooding in for Alan Grant. Then, a nice couple comes to him with a nice, lucrative offer to go back to Isla Sorna. That's the dinosaur islands. Greed gets the best of him, and he accepts the trip. Fun fact, this would be the first day of 3 weeks of being sick. So, if you've noticed I sound a little stuffy, that would be why. The group lands their plane because they're forced to. I impressively grab this amber shard, and we get back onto the plane. Our pilot is tragic at his job and crashes, leaving us face on with the Spinosaurus, which is allegedly more dangerous than a T-Rex. Anyways, we have another chase level. And that's the end of this one. The second level of the film starts off with awful news. Not only was Alan manipulated to look for the couple's child, but these morons didn't even know which island they signed up to be on, and went to the wrong one. To make matters worse, T-Rex. But have no fear, the Spinosaurus tells him to pick on someone his own size. We thank the Spinosaurus by helping the T-Rex in their fight, because, and quote, we like our chances better. L friends, TBH. After distracting the Spinosaurus enough, we ran away. After, we traversed through the jungle until we find a video of what happened to the son, and he might be cooked. The next level starts with the group going through an old InGen facility. After fighting little pest dinosaurs and building and fixing stuff, we take a wrong turn and end up in a... The group gets ganged up on by Velociraptors, and just when Alan is about to become a light snack, he is saved by the couple's son, Eric. Eric and Alan head to Eric's safe space, but on the way, they have to fight Dromaeosaurids. So, they recruited the help of the Ankylosaurus, and he pummeled these Velocilosers. They get to Eric's base and discover his T-Rex P collection that can scare dinosaurs or summon R. Kelly. Who wrote this script? We eventually reunite the family and head to the observatory. Almost the instant we get down there, Eric is kidnapped by a pterodactyl, so the group has to try and rescue him again. As we get closer to him, it became apparent that the pterodactyls were not too fond of our plan. We eventually got to the point where Alan's assistant paraglided down to Eric and saved him. After saving him, not only did he become food for the pterodactyls, but the survival of others was not definite, because the Spinosaurus was back. And this leads us to the final boss fight against the spine guy, and we basically just blow him up. Boom, boom, boom. The group...
You hear me? Hit the rollie, start with the rollie.
The group runs to the beach and they are saved by what I assume is a rebranded InGen. Once again, I never actually watched the movies. Now with the conclusion of the Jurassic Park trilogy, it is time to move on to the sequel film, Jurassic World. The whole concept of Jurassic World is like, what if we made Disney World for dinosaurs? And here we are. The story begins with two brothers, Gray and Zach, and they're meeting their aunt who is an important businesswoman for the park. She basically leaves them alone and they get into shenanigans. But first we go to Owen, and once again, we're feeding Velociraptors. This time, we actually get to play as them, which was fun. After getting their prey, Owen is called to help with some type of new dinosaur, and it appears to have gotten out of its facilities, which is no bueno. We then discover that it's still in the pen with us, which is somehow even more no bueno. We make our way out, but then so does the Indominus Rex. Owen manages not to be eaten, and that concludes the introduction to the story. The next level starts with the boys riding in bulls in a field of dinosaurs until the androgynous Rex finds them. And we get another chase level! The next part of the level has Zach stuck in one of the balls, and Gray has to work with him to get through puzzles. The albino T-Rex is fighting the Ankylosaurus, by the way, so this level is a lot like the T-Rex Spinosaurus fight from earlier. After distracting him enough, the big guy rages and breaks Zach out of the ball, and the boys are able to escape. The boys make it to some old garage seemingly from the original island, and they tame a little pest dinosaur to help them get through. Now, it's time to fix up a car and drive away to get somewhere safe. Then we cut to Owen and the boys' aunt who's looking for the boys, but they get spooked by the escapee dinosaur, so they hide in the same building that the boys were in. The Dino terrorizes them the entire time they are inside, but they eventually make it out. And that's the end of this level. The next level begins with the Indominus Rex continuing to be a menace to everyone here. It releases some pterodactyls and they wreak havoc on the actual theme park areas. Now the boys and the person who was supposed to be watching them this whole time, apparently, need to make it to the Innovation Center. On the complete opposite side of all the wreckage, Owen and Redhead Bob Woman are also trying to make it to the Innovation Center, so they end up inadvertently helping each other to meet there. This level design is very cool. The babysitter takes a tumble and gets eaten by a big fish dinosaur, El Bozo. Owen then gets asked to use the Velociraptors to fight the I-Rex. This is a bad plan though, because apparently he is fluent in Velociraptorinese and gets them on his side. Many die. Star-Lord and the Diversity Hire are able to get away though. We then get another chase level. But this one is different because you're shooting most of the time, which was good. After loads of zapping, we were able to gain distance and get away. Finally, we have all united and made it to the Innovation Center. But so have the Velociraptors. No fret though, because we get by them with ease using a chicken hologram. This is most definitely canon. Owen manages to get the Velociraptors back on our side, and it's time to fight the Morbosaurus Rex. This fight was pretty standard. Flash it and let the Velociraptors do the dirty work. After enough flashing, it was time to pull out the secret weapon, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. As you can expect, the T-Rex manages to win, and I'm beginning to think that this species has more plot armor than anyone else in the game. After pushing his white cousin, he then suffers the same fate as the babysitter from earlier. With that, all the dinosaurs walk off into the distance with a "and everyone clapped" ending. This concludes the first playthrough of all the stories. Now, to get 100%, we must collect all the gold bricks, red bricks, help the sick dinosaurs, and save the workers in peril in the open worlds. We will also need to go through and grab all the mini kits and amber shards from the levels. Well, I could keep talking about the process, or there's a dinosaur there, and a dinosaur there, and a dinosaur over there too. We get them all from the amber shards and get them red bricks too. And once we get enough of them, we can move on to levels and begin on cleaning those through. There's a mini kit there, and a mini kit there, and a mini kit over there too. We finish all of the levels and grab the rest of the red bricks. It's time to clean the overworld too. There's a sick dinosaur there and a person who needs help and some races to finish up too. We grab the last gold brick and finish up achievements and get the 100%. In conclusion, I think LEGO Jurassic World is a very, very solid LEGO game that does a lot of things right. The dinosaurs are very cool additions to the roster. Honestly, I believe that the character roster would be practically nothing if not for the dinosaurs. Being able to explore all the different park areas was done very well. Now, positives aside, the game has a lack of level diversity, especially with the 69 different chase levels. Half the game felt like it was either chopping through jungle or running away through a jungle. This is just how the movies go, so I understand it's how they can tell the story, but also, this cleanup process was a little annoying because there's a lot of things you can't do until you do something else. So what I would do if I were trying to get this 100% again would be to unlock important dinosaurs like the small one, Indominus, Acid Hawk Tua guy, Velociraptor, Head Basher Dude, and Pterodactyl. Then grab all the stud multipliers, mini kit detector, amber detector, then clean the levels, and finally clean the open world. So final thoughts, this is a good game, but I wouldn't go as far to say great. For me, it has remained mid. As always, I would love to know your guys' opinions on the game. If you think I'm an idiot who has no idea what he's talking about, feel free to comment below. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked the video, make sure you like and maybe even subscribe. If you really liked the video, make sure you share this with your coworker with the long greasy hair that really needs the shower. Come on, man.